I solve puzzles. I solve every puzzle I can. One of my favorites is one like this. For whatever reason, I've always had a knack for solving this kind of puzzle. The first time I picked one up, I simply solved it without thinking. It was only later that I actually figured out how I did it, and I've been using variations on that method ever since. Of all the puzzles I've done, the one that took me the longest to solve was the Rubik's Cube. I originally picked it up when I was about 8 years old. I simply played with it for a long time, just having fun examining how I could arrange the colors into patterns. My father was the one that told me that it was a puzzle, and the goal to end with only one color on each side. For a long time, I would pick it up for a couple weeks every few months. After several years of this, I was able to solve the first 2 layers, but the bottom layer still eluded me. In the end, I went online looking for a website that had sequences of moves I could use to solve that last layer. Instead, I found a site that had the sequences I would need to solve the entire cube, starting from square one. Even with the site as a guide, I still had to try several times to finally solve the cube. When I did solve the cube that first time, I felt a strange lack of accomplishment. Over the next week, I solved the cube several more times, but still felt oddly unsuccessful. I continued to solve the cube, and as I did, I started to understand that I wasn't solving the cube because I enjoyed the process, though it was somewhat entertaining. Instead, I was solving the cube because I enjoyed memorizing the sequences needed to do so. When I realized this, and began embracing not solving the cube, but memorizing how, I suddenly found the joy I had not been able to feel from simply solving the cube. I've heard that this joy of memorization is odd. I've heard that very few people share it. Maybe that's true. Maybe I am one of an extremely small group who shares that joy. Even so, I can't help wondering if other people have similarly odd joys. Maybe the guy next to me, football player that he is, really sees the nuances of color in a sunset. He could have some special appreciation for the beauty in Van Gogh's Starry Night. And perhaps he gets some special thrill from the perfection of sound inherent in the world's best orchestra. Maybe the girl in front of me, quiet and shy, has some fascination with the number 6. Maybe there are exactly 6 steps between the classroom door and her chair. Maybe she always likes to be 6 minutes early to everything she does. And maybe, on the 6th of every month, she makes a point to play a game of chess. It sounds strange when I think of it like this, but it could be true. Maybe we all have some quirk or another. Is it possible that each and every one of us has some special thing that few others would understand? It seems weird that even those people who take such pains to be normal could have something all those other normal people wouldn't understand. But then again, perhaps that's what sets each of us apart from one another, while at the same time bringing us together. Are we all the same because we're all different? Is my joy that comes not from solving puzzles, but remembering how strange? I don't know. In fact, I'm not sure it really matters. I solve puzzles. But sometimes, I think those toys that I just can't put down aren't really puzzles. Sometimes, I think that the real puzzle isn't them. The real puzzle is me.